Hey guys, Troy with Henderson Race Shop. Here's a video how we recently made a beautiful set of headers using our Einstar Vega to scan the front of a Fox body, the engine, the transmission, take all that information, put it into Fusion 360, draw up these headers, even made some tooling to hold the collectors in place, and then we sent all that out to Bentech to get our blueprints. The first step was to get the engine and transmission out of the car. We set it up and then grabbed the Einstar Vega and got to work. I used a little developer spray just to make everything pick up easier, and then just started recording. I worked my way all around the engine trying to get as much data as possible. So here's from my viewpoint using the Einstar Vega. Here you can see I'm scanning the transmission. Something like that has a lot of features, a lot of texture, does a really great job. Other things like that bell housing it struggled with, it's shiny and black, so I had to use some spray. But it probably took about 15 minutes in total to gather all this information and get it in the computer. So now that we got our scan done, we can export that information and start using it. So here you can see I'm in Fusion now. That's my 3D CAD software, and I've pulled in the scan of the engine and the transmission out of that Fox body. Now this already has the header flanges on it, so I'm not going to draw those. I'm just going to use that. And the other thing we need is the actual front of the Fox body itself, and I scanned that also. And you can see it here. So I had to take a little bit of time, and I plunked the front of the body in CAD, and then I had to put the motor in. You got to position it all and get it all squared up. So I'm not going to waste your time showing you all that, but um, there's definitely a little bit of setup that's involved with this stuff. But once you get it done, I mean, I've got a motor, transmission, and a car in the front of the car now, so we can actually start building some stuff. And well, we started with positioning the collectors, just like when you manually build some headers. I put them where I wanted them. But something that's really cool is now that I've got all this information, I can build jigs to hold the collectors. In the past, when I'd build headers, I'd usually put the car up on the lift and then I'd get some stands and kind of try to block the collectors in place or tape them or whatever, but they're always moving around and it was always a real pain. Well, now I can actually use this information and I can make some jigs, which is what I did, and locate the things. So I used a couple of the bolt hole locations on the transmission, and I just very quickly 3D printed some jigs. I'll show you the real ones here in a little bit. That bolted on there, and then I snapped the collectors right in place. Really, it was pretty easy, a little bit of time, but man, it holds the collectors exactly where they need to be. It makes everything so much quicker to work with. And then once we got that done, we got to business actually drawing up headers. And I'm going to go coast through this pretty quickly too, but one at a time we draw the headers up. I start with the sketch. I can show you that. Turn this off. You can see this line here is the sketch. So there's a lot of time that obviously goes in connecting this to this, fitting it, but that's what you're taking advantage of because now I can fit the header live and see what it's going to hit, what it's going to clear, trying to get the links where I want it, trying to get aesthetically where I want it, and then just work my way through all these header tubes. So I'll turn them all on now. And I try to mirror them. This is more of a show car than an all-out performance car. So all-out equal length wasn't as important on this one. Performance obviously is still important, but we wanted them to look really cool in the mirror too. So we try to do that. So now that we got all this done, okay, what do I do with this? It looks cool, but how does this actually help me build the headers? In order to do that, you kind of need some blueprints. And so I use Bentech, and that's what I've always used in the past to design my roll cages. And you can use it to help you with the headers too. So I actually exported these files one at a time. So header one, for instance, I'd send to Bentech, and I'll open that up real quick. Here's Bentech. So Bentech's got my header tube in here that I sent out from Fusion, and I opened it up, and it's sitting here in space. But the cool thing about Bentech is you can use it to break this thing down, the straights and the bends. It'll peel it all apart and make blueprints for you. So let's just do that real quick. Okay, a lot of information I just plugged in there, but basically what it is the start of the tube to the end of the tube and the length. See, here's that 2-inch stub coming off my flange on on the engine. And then here's all the bends. You know, here's a bend, this hard bend here. Here's a long straight, this straight here, bend, straight, bend, all the way down. And then there's all the angles. So you know, 60-degree angle right here. That means I need to cut a 60-degree bend out of a U-bend. And then I'm probably going to leave some straight on it too. You know, you're going to have to go through this and figure out where you want the straight and where you want the bends. And you don't want to be cutting it on both sides of the bends because then you just got more stuff to weld. But that's everything you figure out. So I got a blueprint for every single tube. So we can print these off. We set them down at the U-bends, and then we cut out every single U-bend, which is nice because you've got a plan, you've got the parts. Now, yeah, we cut them all a little bit long and hand fit them just to make sure because there's always, you know, a little bit of discrepancy going on. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's really, really close.
So here's the finished product. After we scanned this engine, the transmission, we scanned the engine bay all with our Einstar Vega, put it all together in CAD, and then I drew these headers up. We took the header design, spit over to Bentech. Bentech gives us basically flat patterns so we know how to cut everything out. And you can pretty much build these headers exactly to the print from the computer. And that's what we did. I mean, they went together 98%. There was a couple little things we had to change that we didn't account for, like we added a brake booster to the car. So we had to change this back tube just a small amount. But, I mean, it works phenomenally. If you're interested in a set of custom headers, we can do the exact same service to your car, and it's a guaranteed fit. We showed that. We even made some 3D printed jigs that bolt down to the transmission, and these held the collector in place. That made it even easier. So when we worked our way from our stubs down to the collectors, we knew exactly where our placement was going to be, and that matched the computer also. Turned out really well. We're really happy with it.